Alright, so this was basically 1-point perspective. 1 point there, and then now we're going to go into 2-point, and I drew this to show you kind of these 2 points, and I'll do it again. I did this because once again YouTube screwed up and it didn't record, but same process. Just think of where the horizon line is, and say a dot here and a dot here. Now say if you want to draw, we'll do a cube, keep it simple. So we'll draw a line on the bottom, and the same process. With this line, anything on this side will line up to that, so like so, and this would go to that point, and then the same line here would go to that point, about like that, and then this will go to that point too. And then like we said before, keep your lines parallel, so this is straight, there's no other point it goes to this, so this will be parallel to that, so there's straight lines. Then this here would have to line up to that point. That's how you get the top of the shape, and that would line up to that point, like so. So basically that's the cube in 2-point perspective. And once again, you can notice you can see the top because it's below the horizon line. And something else to note, I did this by eye, lining it up, and it's pretty accurate. And that's something just to note, like unless you're doing a cityscape or you're doing anything that needs a lot of precision, don't worry about taking a ruler out and lining up every line exactly right. It's just as long as you understand 2-point perspective, as long as you understand what lines would run parallel, what's going to go back, and understand that if it's below the line, you'll see the top. So just like this is a better drawing I just did, but see that, like, that's the process for 2-point perspective. Now this up here, we're going to draw that, and say, just draw another cube, and this one will be in the air, above the horizon line. Same process. You start off with that line. These will go to there, to that line, then the parallel line. These will go down to there, parallel line, and then this point we have to go to there, so something like that. And this point we have to go to that. And so now you can see the bottom of it. And that's the basic idea for 2-point. Really, this perspective isn't too bad once you understand. So there it is, it's just you see the bottom. And I like to think of it like, just think, like if you're seeing the top of it, I like to think like I'm in a helicopter or something. I'm looking, I'm above the horizon line and I'm seeing down on things. And it's really simple once you understand. And also, I try to think like if you're going to draw comic books or anything, always remember, think of it like there's a camera set everywhere. Everything you visualize, like say there's a camera down here, and it's looking up. Think of it like that. You're seeing the below view. But that's pretty much 2-point. And the final one, I think there's a 4-point. I'm not sure, but there is a 3-point. And honestly, I wouldn't worry about it when you're drawing the human body. But the 3-point is, let's just say, this here. This is. Let's pretend it's a little building. It's got little cute windows and stuff like that. So it's a building. But 3-point would be, there would be a line above the horizon line, like say here, where these lines would kind of converge into, like so, kind of. And it's just the idea that you're looking up at it, something like that. Like it's the idea that you'd be looking at it go up into space as you draw. But I wouldn't worry about that. Just get the 2 points and understand the 1 point. Everything goes back to that. And basically, that's it for perspective. And I'll show you some examples on how to do, but on how to draw the human body. But like this, here's the big thing about this. Now you can think everything has space to it. So if you're drawing in this plane, this 2-point plane, kind of like that, think everything is going to have space on this plane, and that's the important thing to note. So we have a lot of time left, so I'm trying to think if I left anything out. That's about it. So let's just say, like, doing the 2-point perspective. Let's say we'll do 2-point perspective and we want to draw, let's say we'll just do a torso. So in 2-point perspective, we'll say this is the side of the torso, like so. Now this would mean there's depth to it. So if this is the side view, these lines would kind of go back to this, so it kind of converge like that. And you wouldn't see the top of it because it's above the line. And then these lines, if you think of it like a box shape almost, see like that, and in 3 dimensions, so these lines will go to that point. Something like so. And you have a torso in space. So these points, like these lines, if you think of it like, say that, like that would be the bottom of the torso, let's say. And like I said before, I don't like to draw it like this because when you put perspective in mind, it really kind of screws me up personally because you make it too boxy. But the point here is that I want to show, like, see the top of that kind of becomes the bottom of the torso, and then you can connect the legs to that and say the legs would be in 3 dimensions like that. So this leg would run like so on that line going back. It's a bad drawing, but I'll draw it without the points. Just say you want to draw, just say we'll have a view where you're looking up, like under the feet or something. So that would mean, if I'm going to look up, say this is the box, you're going to look below it. So like, say the buttocks would be on this side, this would be like the groin area or whatever. And so the idea is the camera would be below it looking up, which would mean the horizon line would be really, really low. So it's like that. So the idea is, say the legs would connect like so, and the legs would come down towards you. Something like that. And this is how I like to draw. It's not, see, I'm not concerned about the lines as much, like where it's going, as much as it is, just understand it is coming towards you, like so. Or, I mean, understand that you are looking under it. Just something like that. And then from there, this box shape, you know, the line would come up, and then you could start to draw the rest of it. So the torso, like that. The torso would look something like that. You're looking below it. So keep in mind, if you're looking below it, you won't see the whole face. You might just see part of the head. Like maybe these are the eyes. Actually, the eyes would be maybe right here. This is the nose. And because the pectoral muscles would cover a lot of that up, because if you're looking under it once again, you'd see more of the mass of the pectorals. That's something to note. And here would be like the groin. So just remember, in space, whereas say if I was looking above it, so say I did that kind of same pose just above it, so this would be the basic shape of the torso, and you wouldn't, like the head would actually sit in between that mass. So you have your back muscles and the collarbone, which you went over, and the front muscles, if you see what I mean. And then all you would really see down here is if you're looking at it from above, so the camera's above the head, then all you would really see is maybe a leg coming out, like so. You won't really see too much of the actual muscle itself. And maybe this leg's coming down. Something like that. And you have like the deltoids here and the arms coming out. These drawings are really bad. Damn, these drawings suck. I just want to try to get this idea of shapes. So next up we'll actually start talking about foreshortening and the way that applies. But like the biggest thing to me to help is to think of it like this in space. Like these are lines running towards you. Like if you have a foot and it's right here, and it's going to come out to you like that, then the other foot, see there's like the box shape, the other foot, say you want it to go back into space, just remember everything's going to be on these lines. That's kind of the idea I want to get into everyone's head now, is that, so everything will kind of be on that line. So remember, if this foot's up forward, that one's going to have to be back. So it's just, you don't want to put the same feet on the same plane running, otherwise it would look flat.